Today, I want to talk about the difference between somebody who talks about something that they have experienced and somebody who talks about something because they have learned it somewhere or they have learned it from somebody else's experience. And why is it important to learn directly from somebody who has experienced something? Because that is the person that is going to get you to experience. If somebody is just talking about something just from information, it means they have not even yet learned to experience it. Because if they had, they wouldn't be talking from knowledge, they would be talking from experience. I always say this: you can teach somebody how to swim for the rest of their lives. They will never learn unless they actually get in the water and start to swim. So experience is something completely different from knowledge. Yes, knowledge is very important, but experiencing is what matters the most. So something I very much reflect on is my childhood when I was learning, the divine God is like the most powerful, pure, loving energy out there. And it's important that we all learn how to connect to it, because that's where we get grounded. That's where we trust ourselves. That's where we start to love openly. That's where we are rooted in our power, because now we are connected to something beyond us that connects to everybody. And in our religion, in order to learn that, we go to a place called madrasa. And in my personal experience, these are the people who were, it's not from a judgmental place, but it's from observation, who were not connected to the divine, because they were not teaching from experience. They were teaching from knowledge that they have learned. Nobody, from my personal experience, from the people that I learned from, felt like this person experienced the divine. And if you go back to all the books actually that teaches religion, everybody who came up with whatever religion it was taught from experience. They are not the one who wrote the book, because they knew it's not about the knowledge. It's not about being stuck in the head and knowing everything and understanding and be like, oh my God, I know everything. I know everything that's written in the book. It's about practicing. It's about practicing every single day until you are one with the divine, until you realize now this is the truth. Nobody out there can come and tell you anything, because now you know. Now you have experienced something beyond yourself. This is why all these people who came up with the religion, they didn't follow what their family told them. Most of them actually went against what their family told them, because they experienced something bigger within them, something that felt like this is the absolute truth for them, because it was not something that just they made up in their mind, or it was like something divine. They knew this is it and it's worth talking about. And once you experience that, once you connect to that, nothing or nobody can tell you anything that will just take you away from your truth. You start to see things, to trust things, because now you know there is something bigger that's guiding you. It's no longer you. It's no longer your ego. It's no longer your beliefs that were created as a child. Like, this is how you have to be. This is what you have to do. It's no longer that. It's something beyond that. It's like, what we do is we are told this divine energy is God, and somebody found this divine energy as rain, and then wrote books about rain. And then now we're all there looking for rain. Oh my God, I want to look for rain. It's going to come from the sky. So I'm going to look out. Oh, they say it's in the forest. So I'm going to go in the forest. And yes, you might get lucky. You might go in places and there you will find rain. And yes, you will be connected. But you might be somewhere near the ocean and you are traveling all the way to somewhere where there's rain, where the ocean is just next to you. It's still water, but nobody taught you that that is water as well. That is what you're looking for as well. You don't know that because you're not connected to yourself. You're not exploring. You have this belief, you have this idea that I'm looking for rain because this is what I read. So the more we explore, the more we just go with the flow, the more we follow. There's this inner voice that's telling us, go here, do that, say yes to this. But then we don't. We're like, no. I cannot say yes to this because I read somewhere. Your voice is telling you, come on, go. Outside there's ocean. Just go there. That's what you're looking for. That's where the divine is. And you're like, oh, no, I cannot go there. I'm being told I need to go somewhere near the forest, or I need to go somewhere near the waterfall. That's what I'm looking for. I've been told that's where water is. I'm going to the well. You're looking for where you learned instead of just experiencing life. You are here to experience life and find, maybe nobody has found ocean yet. And you are here to let people know, oh my God, you can connect to water. You can find water in the ocean as well. Maybe you are here to explore that instead of just following the majority or the mass or what you've been taught. So learn to listen to this inner voice. And once you listen to this inner voice, it will guide you through your own experience and it will connect you to divine in your own way. God has no religion. God has no country. There is nobody's God that's better than anybody else. Everybody finds God in their own way. So don't look for information. God cannot be explained in book. You cannot grasp something so powerful and put it in writing and put it in a box. It's an experience. You have to feel it. You have to connect to it. You have to know that, oh my God, this is it. You will feel it because everything else will melt. Your identity, who you've been told to be, who you thought you are, everything will melt away and you will just feel like, oh my God, this is oneness. This is divinity. This is being human. You will feel it. And that is what you are here to experience. So stop following. Even if you feel like, okay, whatever it is that you're following, don't be stuck in the information. Be curious. Go towards experience. Have your practices, like whatever practice it is. The practice is the most important thing because now you are in silence with yourself. You are in the listening mode. You have to be in the listening mode. And not listening to your mind, but listening deeper, where your mind also keeps quiet or silences. That's where you need to be. You need to learn how to be in this deep meditative state. That is where you will connect to the divine. Connecting to the divine is not going out there the way we were taught and just pray, oh God, I want this, I want this. It's not about asking. It's about sitting there and receiving. It's about listening. It's about connecting. It's about silence. It's about sitting with yourself until yourself disappears. Until you realize there is no yourself. There's never been yourself. It's just a concept that you learned to create. And it's necessary to live in this world, but it's not you. You will experience this essence, your true self that everybody is talking about. my journey was to actually find God, because I could never find God. I was like, why is it that everybody just prays? I just can't. I feel like, first, I cannot just sit there. I just feel like it just didn't make sense to me. Because I was like, okay, so I'm just sitting here. I'm asking, who am I asking to? Like, I always questioned. And why am I asking? Why I'm taught to pray this in this way? Like, I always questioned, but I feared questioning those questions loudly. So I kept them in myself while I shamed myself, because now we are taught you cannot question God. If something, whatever it is in this world, if you cannot question it, that means it's not the truth. It doesn't matter how much you question the truth, it will never change. So if it's something that is true, you will actually, it's important to question it, because then you will get the answer. Once you will get the answer, you will believe it fully, because now your curiosity is no longer there. Now you trust, now you know, now you believe. It's not just believe blindly. Now it's like, no, I believe because my questions have been answered. So whatever it is out there in this world, anything, if somebody tells you not to question it, run. Yeah, run, really. This is something I really wanted to talk about, because I feel like, it's an information that I really kept within myself. I feel so ashamed to talk about this, to question my beliefs, to question what I understood and how I was taught things. And I'm not questioning people. I'm not questioning how people should live. This is about how I want to live. For so long, I felt like how I'm living is wrong, because it didn't resonate to other people. It didn't look like how other people lived. And I felt like, oh my God, if I tell them I don't believe in this, I will be rejected. So yes, it was my personal fear of rejection, but it was real, because we live in a world where we're not free to question these things. We can be in trouble, and it's real. There are some countries you can get killed by just questioning something, because they want to keep the control. They don't want you to know the truth. So it's not about fighting anybody, but it's about questioning things for yourself, so that you start living a life of experience instead of knowledge. You start actually, it's a different thing when you experience something. It's a different thing when you feel like, oh my God, this is water. This is what I've been learning about my entire life. I was told it's something I didn't. You will not know what water is. Somebody can come with all the books. If right now I tell you there is something called bijiza, and I will explain to you, and I will tell you all, if 100 of you are listening to me, and I tell you this is what this is, you will all have different idea about it, because nobody has seen it. Nobody knows what it is. But once you touch the water, all of you, and if I tell you this is water, straight away, that's what's going to come to you. Also in a different way, because one maybe will think water when they're drinking, one will think water when they're showering, one will think about water when they are swimming, right? One will think when they're washing. So everybody will think, even though now you know what water is, you will think it in a different way. Nobody will have the same image of water in their head. And this is human experience, because we all experience the same thing in different way. So why is it that something as divine as God, that nobody has seen, it's an energy we are told to experience only in one way? This is something to question. This is something that I've always questioned. Why is it that I can experience water as an ocean? The other person can experience water as a waterfall. But God, we have to experience the way everybody does. Don't you think there's something beyond that? I am not here to prove myself right or anybody wrong. I'm here to just help people in whatever way I can, because it helped me. There are probably people out there like me who are questioning all this, but they don't have the answer. And I feel the more people talk about things, the more it helps others understand themselves as well. So I'm not here to tell you, go follow this religion, don't follow this religion, do this, do that. What I'm here to tell you is be curious about what is it, your inner voice. There is a voice inside that's guiding you, that you are trying to silence because you read something somewhere, because somebody somewhere told you something, and now you are so focused on looking for what the other person has experienced instead of being curious about what you are here to experience. Everybody is here to see and experience things in their own way according to what they went through life. And the more you control yourself and put yourself in boxes that are not yours, you don't belong in, the further away you're going to be to experience the divine. The divine is something that is very personal. I believe the divine, experiencing the divine is a personal journey. And that's why if you read the stories of all the prophets and all these leaders and gurus, everybody has their own story. Nobody is the same as the other. Nobody met God in the same way, or the same God. That's why there's so many religions, because everybody had their own experience. So you are here to have your experience. And maybe, for some people, I've spoken to people. One of my friend, I used to love speaking to her. Actually, it's been a while since I spoke to her. We used to have such deep conversation. She's a proper Muslim, like she covers up, but I love how she understood the religion, because the essence of all these religion, when it comes to experience, when you experience the divine, it's not, all of the religion, they came from people who actually experienced the divine, and their intention was to actually help people connect to that divine. But human ego came in the middle, who wrote books and who changed some meaning, who understood things in their way. When somebody, like I said, I can speak about water because I have experienced water. But if you have not experienced water, you are listening to everything that I have said, and you are going to write a book about water without experiencing water, just because you heard it from me, that's not going to be what water is. That's going to be your experience of my experience of water. So you're not going to be able to explain, because the way I explained it only maybe from one version of, like, I experienced it, like everything. If I tell you to experience water, to explain water right now, you'll have an explanation. Like if you just bring it out from the heart. Tomorrow I tell you again to explain the same thing. You won't say exact same words unless you memorized them. You will probably say it in a different way. Something else will come. So anything in this world can be explained in so many different ways. And this is something in the world. You can explain it in so many different ways. You cannot put anything. Once you put something in a box, once you say this is it and this is a characteristic of this, you are limiting it. You are taking away its power. Because now you're fitting it only in this one box, and it's something that can be unlimited, can be explained in unlimited ways. So if you feel like whatever it is that you are learning, you are seeking, and you're just not getting, you're not feeling, you're not experiencing, it's about time to just follow. And when you follow, don't follow with the expectation of like, oh yeah, I'm following this so I can get water. Actually, why we need to follow our joy is just to be in this experience. Like, okay, I am climbing this mountain because I love hiking. I love being in the nature. I want to see waterfalls. Whether I get on top or not, it doesn't matter. I just want to experience this climbing. This is why you should set onto the journey. But most of the religion, they are actually taking us towards a destination. You are here to do this so you go to heaven, so you don't go to hell. So there is this goal. We are going just because there is a goal that nobody even knows if it's real. Who can prove that? Nobody can. But it's something that we believe so blindly, but we stop living in our truth. The most spiritual people are the people who stand with their truth, with kindness, with compassion, with love, but in their truth, full truth that can actually cause tension outside, that can actually put them in trouble. Most of spiritual leaders have been rejected by their own people just because they stood with the truth that people didn't want to accept, that were not ready to accept, but they stood. They didn't abandon their truth just so that they can be safe. They moved countries. They did everything that they could, but they protected their truth because they knew this is beyond who they were. This was bigger than them. This was something that needed to be protected. This was something that came to them as a gift, as a connection to something bigger than them. So they had to stand with it. And they knew that if this came to me, that means me standing with this is going to protect me. I'm ready to be with this. And whatever comes, let it be. So they set off on a journey to be with the truth. That's it, nothing but the truth. The highest vibration of human being is not love, is not knowledge, it's actually truth. So just be with your truth. Whatever it is that you are following, follow. But make sure you are following because this is your truth. You believe it in every cell. And not because if you feel like if I don't do this, I will upset my mom, I will upset my dad, I will upset my community, I will upset my country. That is not your truth. That is something that you are doing in order to avoid tension. Stand with your truth and let people react. If they just respect, whatever people are following, respect what they are following. Don't try to tell them to follow what you are following. You just be. Be with your truth. That's it. When you stand with your truth, your people will come to you. You don't have to convince anybody to believe in you. Just follow your truth and people will feel it. Will feel that this person have found something. That's why they are so confident. That's why they're speaking with so much conviction. Because it's not coming from their ego. It's not coming from them being just I'm like so amazing and I did this and it's like, there's something deeper. People feel it. And this is the essence of our prophets because they stood up with something that nobody spoke about, something that could get them killed. But they went in hiding and still made sure they are speaking about it. They didn't silence their voices just because they were not safe. Just because their country did not support what they believed in, just because their parents did not support what they believed in. They stood up with whatever it is that they believed in because they knew this was beyond them. And I love one of my favorite story that I really love, that I feel like has so much meaning, is the Moses story, where he was being chased by all these people towards the Red Sea. And that was trust. There's something, I'm not saying the story is true or is not true. What I'm saying is the message in the story is just trust. Even if there's an obstacle in front of you, just keep going. Believe that There is something beyond you that got you. And when you are one with the divine, that's how you live your life. You don't live your life in fear. You're not scared of anything. Even if there is death, you just trust. You know, like something beyond you got you. And that something beyond you is always with you. It's always protecting you. So you go out there with just like open chest, like I am confident nothing can get to me. And if it does get to me, that's my destiny. But I'm no longer gonna let fear, shame, and all these negative emotion shrink me. I'm gonna expand and walk out there with full confidence. And I'm gonna speak with conviction that this is my truth and I'm standing up with it fully. And I'm not telling anybody to believe in it or not, but I am not abandoning it anymore. So, the invitation from this is whoever you are learning from, make sure these people have gone through what they are teaching. And not just somebody who have learned something online or ChatGPT. Like, listen to people's experience, where they were, where are they, how are they speaking, what's their energy, are they teaching you something? Like, always learn from people who are walking the talk. Anybody can talk. There's so much information. We live in like, oh my God, in a world that is overflowed with information. So everybody has knowledge. Everybody can just talk. But learn from people who walk the talk, who are a living example of what they are preaching. Some people are preaching, they are just preaching to themselves. They are telling themselves. I am not judging because I've been there for quite some time. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, probably. I'm still doing it. I don't know. But whatever it is that I am doing right now, it's not like coming from agenda. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do this so that people feel this. It's like, this is, I just sat here and I was like, okay, what's coming up? What do I want to talk about? And I was like, okay, this is coming up. That's why I feel like I feel the energy, like it's so alive. It's just so in me that it's just something that I wanted to express. It was not like, okay, let me go record a video now and I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about. It was just me in the flow. Just talk about what's coming, because just sometimes things just come through us, things that need to be spoken. And maybe this is what needed to be spoken, especially at this time, where there's so much information out there. There's so many people who are not in integrity. And it's not about going out there judging people. Feel how you feel with this person. Your nervous system will tell you everything. Our nervous system tells us that this person is hiding something. This is maybe manipulative. And when even if a small thing that arises, trust it. Just trust it. Because if you go towards a person that your nervous system rejects, you're not going to learn. So go from a place where you feel like, I like this. But make sure this person is not telling you that water is in the rain. This person is telling you to be open. Is going to teach you to have your own experience of water and not teaching you to believe in their experience. So whatever teacher you go to, whether it's to learn business, whether it's to learn religion, whether it's to learn whatever it is, exercise, workout, eating habits, whatever it is that you want to learn, learn from people who empower you. People who empower you will tell you whatever it is that they are doing, you have it as well. You can do it. They will never make you feel like they are above you or they know so much more than you and they have to teach you, and they are just this space. They're just going to create this space where you learn to be in your power and you become same as them. So it's about empowering you because they want more powerful people. If you go learn from a person who treats themselves as a guru, as a teacher, like I am above you and I'm going to teach you how to be like me, this is not the energy that you are looking for, because you are them. Whatever it is that you see in them, you want it because you have it. So you need to look for a person that will help you get it as well, because they got it. They will give you the tools so that you can get it as well, so that you become who they have become in your own way. You can find what they found in your own way. These are just the tools to help you. But you need to come up with your own ideas on how to do things your way so that you are in your power. Thank you so much for listening to this. And I hope it helped you in understanding yourself better. And I hope it helps you in choosing the right teacher in whatever it is that you want to learn. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you guys in another one. Bye.